9 of the Inktober is bounce. Let's click into this so that we can get a bit better of an FPS on that. And I don't really know that I had anything in mind for bounce. This one took a while for me to isolate and figure out how I wanted to make it. And I think it's actually much simpler than I remember it being. Kind of learning from my previous mistake is where I used the exact same time frac speed amounts and then plugged this everywhere. This time I just did a named reroute node with speed and just plugged speed in every time that I want to use time. And I'm using curve atlases again. The red channel here is rotation, and I have another one that's doing the wiggle of the shape itself, so the shape's wiggling as it's being hit. And we can take a look at what this is. A bunch of fun curves that then drop off at the end. That's the rotation. And let's take a look at the wiggle. Yeah, this is getting that little wiggle going for the horizontal part of the bounce here. So when the hexagon rotates back and forth, that's that wiggle aspect. This time I wanted to use the hexagon shape. So the rotation is doing the rotate, and that's doing the angle. And this is doing, that's doing the rotate, and then this is doing the wiggle. So if I don't have any of those and I just plug it in here, it's doing nothing. It is doing nothing. And then the shape looks kind of sad. It's not doing what it should be. So again, adding to the UVs to make it wiggle, that's the wiggle, and getting it to rotate a certain amount each time. The other one is the circle down here. This one was quite difficult. It's getting some sort of looping motion that felt good with an object within inside of an object. That's what I wanted to do for bounce. I didn't want to do a traditional bouncing ball rotation. I wanted to do some sort of perpetual movement concept, and it took a while to figure this math out, but once I kind of got the hang of what I wanted it to do, this really felt good for the speed, the curve, and the offsets of what it's doing. So this is actually animating the position of the x and the y coordinates on this curve. If we don't have that and it's just this, the dot's not going to do anything. And I'm having it rotate 0 to 1. I don't know why it's rotating there. And this is to rotate its offset a little bit. I got the animation feeling good, and then I needed to change where its initial position was. Because it was, yeah. It was a lot of coordination of like, where does this happening? You can kind of see it in some of my messy leftovers here. And then this aspect adds a little pop when the it's not every time because we're messing with speed and time and the amount here. But whenever the smaller ball hits the side, I wanted some sort of impact to show. And that impact is not the same every time, which I thought was fun and interesting. You can kind of combine those shapes together here, and you just apply the random noise, and there it is. I was having strange things like it would invert it, like maybe it would invert on the wave and a bunch of other stuff, but it was kind of intense looking, so we didn't keep that. And that's what this shape ended up being. So simple in its construction, but took a lot of coordinating and thinking through to execute. And that was day 9. Now, I was hoping to get to at least day 15, and I have Wander and Fortune still working on it, wasn't happy with where it's going. And then Wander, I did finish Wander, but that'll have to be for another day and another time because I want to at least get the first 9 that I officially made, and then I'll kind of retrofit and go back to show probably Inktober up to day 15. That's my goal. Don't know when I'm going to get to it by the end of the year because I'm doing a lot of traveling and had to travel during this month. That's why Inktober got cut off. But hopefully, we can see a few more. Other than that, I hope you enjoy these videos, and I plan to then eventually release them, the materials themselves, in the material lab or as copy functions that anyone can give it a try. So hopefully you'll enjoy and have a fantastic Halloween, as that's the day I'm recording this video.